very, very hard to hold as a like hatch first. So I don't. The 14-14 is absolutely fine, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's more than fine. It's probably the safest you can do against a Protoss right now.
Yeah. And then right over there on the second base, I'm just kind of slightly harassing because I figure he would be blocking it.
Yep.
And I'm just trying to drone, keep my minerals around 250. That way, I making use of the minerals and not worrying about making a base. And then I'm building, I think, 4 sets of link, or 2 sets. Yeah.
Yep, that's fine.
So,
just to take the pylon out and take the probe out and then get your hatchery up, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, it's absolutely fine so far.
And then...
your lings go out to kind of take map control, that's good.
Yeah, then he does, I think, a really, really, really greedy opening.
Okay.
He went a
your
pylon
speed is like really
excess.
late again. You need to work on getting your speed as soon as you've got 100 gas. That's really, really important. So.
Yeah, normally I need to work on my multitasking a little bit because usually I'm pretty spot on with getting, once I have 100 gas, I get my
Okay, can we just pause
speed.
a second?
Yeah.
Sure. So I'm on 5 minutes exactly.
Okay.
You don't need layer. Like that's a fucking super early layer. You do not need layer tech right now. 100% promise you do not need layer tech right now. What you should have done is you should get, if you're going 14-14 versus a Protoss, you should get 100 gas and then take 2 drones off of the gas, and then just get your speed straight away, and then just concentrate on droning up.
Okay.
So you should just generally concentrate on droning up, especially if they've gone like Nexus first, because there is absolutely nothing a Protoss can do to you if they've gone like Nexus first. Like there's no way they can attack you. The only thing they could possibly do is cannon rush you, and you have lings, so they can't really.
Okay.
Okay, so your layer's like far too early. I'm guessing it's just because I had gas. Why not, right?
Pretty much, and I'm trying to experiment with a new build, trying to get into the layer tech with an infestation pit almost fairly quickly. That way I can try to have an answer to whatever the other player throws, but yeah, 5 minutes and getting a layer does seem kind of early.
Yeah, so just basically that's just because, you've kept your drones on gas, so you've got gas, so you think I should spend it, but you shouldn't have gas at this point. You should get enough gas for speed, and then that's it, basically. That's all the gas you need until about 7 minutes, when you've got to prepare just in case you 5 gates you, 6 gates you, or comes at you with like immortals or whatever, and you need roaches or hydralisks or whatever you choose to go.
Okay.
So we'll hit play in 3, 2, 1, go. So your lings are doing quite a good job harassing. Yeah. Okay, you can engage probes as long as they don't surround you. The pylon snipe was really clever. So just generally looking, but yeah, you could have engaged those probes and probably killed like all of them, and ended the game right there. So yeah, if you can get in his base with like 6 lings against like nothing but probes, you will do a lot of damage. I mean, instead of like picking off buildings and pylons, I'd be picking off probes.
Okay.
Okay. And that obviously would have helped with the earlier speed. Like right now, you could have had speed 8 lings against probes. You win the game, 100%.
Alright.
Okay, so you've got 2 more lings coming in. I'm just guessing they were misrallied.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No problem. Again, like really, really early infestation pit. I mean, let's just have a look at your drone count right now. You're on 22 drones. You cannot support infestors. Like, you might be able to get like 2 or 3 out, but then if he attacks you with anything, you lose. Like, right now in this game, you should be up to like 40 drones.
Okay.
Okay.
Guess one thing I'll have to make sure I do.
Yeah, definitely. So you're getting an overseer. That's really good. You always want to know what your opponent's doing so you can feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, he hasn't even started Warp Gate yet.
Yeah, kind of like what I mentioned earlier. This guy was just kind of bad.
Yeah.
There's like whenever I was watching this game, I kept looking at it. It's like, oh, if I would have scouted a little bit earlier, I could have taken him out. If I would have done this, I could have easily killed him.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I'm guess making sure I have the Zelnaga Watchtower, kind of
Yeah.
a little bit of scouting and see what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, you should always, as a Zerg, you should always go for that Zelnaga Tower. You know, just even if he has like 2 or 3 zealots parked at it, just send 20 lings at it. You need to have that tower because if he attacks you, and the first time you see it is when he's parked at your ramp, it's really, really bad news. The strength of Zerg is the amount of production they have, and that gets completely nullified if you start your production when he's at your door. So basically, by not having these towers, you are indirectly affecting every strength the Zerg race has by not having these towers. So just bear that in mind that you need to know when he's coming at you.
Yeah, I did notice there was a few units coming to the Zelnaga Watchtower, so I saved the one Zergling.
Yep.
Though probably should have sent all those units to take them out.
Yeah, you definitely. I mean, if you only seen like 3 or 4 and you've got like 30 Zerglings, just go for it. Because it's going to take him at least like 45 seconds to get a pylon down and start warping in, if that was his intention. And by then, those lings could have killed off everything he had there, and then you'd be in a really good position.
So I threw a changeling down in his base because
Yep.
didn't see like what he was going, so I'm just kind of scouting around. This is actually, I was a little surprised because he only had 2 warp gates and that was it. I expected, like, with what he opened up with, he would have had a couple more gateways or a couple stargates.
Yep.
So seeing that he was at kind of a disadvantage, I decided I wanted to go attack, but for some odd reason, like, I saw there's units going south, so I thought he may have been making a third, so I wanted to, like, take that out, but I just noticed he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And, like, right at that moment, if I would have just marched all my Zerglings in his base, I could have completely taken out his main.
Maybe, like, he does have, like, a wall at the moment and plenty of cannons. Like, you'd have probably just wasted your entire Ling force. Again, like, your drone count is so low. Like, you should have a 3rd base right now. Like, every game, like the 2 games I've seen of you right now, you're behind in economy. Like, and that's gonna really affect you.
Well, let me ask this, like, how many drones per base should I have?
Right, okay, so pause it a second.
Okay.
Right now you should have 16 drones on minerals per base.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like, the 6 on the gas if you've got it. So 16 mining minerals. Sorry, my phone's going crazy. 16 mining minerals and 6 on gas at any one point. That's perfect saturation for a Zerg, okay?
Okay.
So, I mean, you're pretty close to that. You've got, let me count. Yeah, you've got 15 on minerals at your natural. So, an extra 1 there. And you've got, pretty close to optimal on your main as well. So you're not doing too bad, but the magic number on minerals is 16 for a Zerg.
Okay.
And then obviously you have to replace as you build buildings and whatnot.
Yeah. I just want to double check because that's what I've always heard. Like, I kind of do a quick count by just double clicking on the drones and, like, either my main or natural, and I'll just have 2.5 rows.
Yep, you can do that. I just generally tend to box. It's whatever method you favourable, but just make sure you've got that magic number of 16. Again, like, your minerals are really high. Like, I'd just throw down like 2 or 3 hatcheries if your minerals are that high. You know, it's not going to do any harm whatsoever because, you know, they're in the bank anyway. So yeah, I'm just making some notes as well as I go along, just to kind of like give you a lesson summary of like what needs to be worked on.
Okay.
And it'll like you'll notice yourself like improving like really really quickly once these flaws are fixed. So we'll hit play again in 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay. Yeah. I'll try to make like I guess a rule that if I ever get above 1,000, I'll just make another macro hatch
Yep,
because
it's absolutely fine.
obviously I'm not spending the money wisely, and it would make sense to have more
Yeah.
larvae to spend it. And then as I get better, I won't need them.
Okay. Yep. Exactly.
So right now I'm having the Mutalisk come in, doing a little
Yep.
bit of harassments, and I think I do fairly decently. I think he spots it fairly quickly. And since I didn't go up there, I didn't know if he had a lot of cannons around, so I figured I would just take out a few of his pylons.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you never want to lose Mutalisks, if you can help it.
Almost lost one.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, just if you don't have to lose Mutalisks, don't. What I'm finding with your play as well is like kind of like a bit of everything. Like you have infestors, you have zerglings, you have Mutalisks. You know, you kind of want to be focusing on like one tech tree at a time. Like for example, if you decide like, okay, Mutalisk would be really good. You want to go Mutalisk Zergling, and then if you decide that okay, this isn't working, I need to switch to Infestor Roach, but you don't want to go Infestor Roach Zergling Mutalisk, for example.
Okay.
You know, you want to kind of concentrate on one thing at a time with Zerg, because if you overextend yourself in terms of like tech, you'll be like a lot weaker. So, for example, if you decide to go like Roach Ling, and then you build up a bunch of roaches, you build up a bunch of lings, you get your Roach Ling upgrades, then that's strong. But if you decide to go like Roach Ling, Mutalisk, Hydra, then everything overall will be a lot weaker.
Okay.
So just bear that in mind. Just like concentrate on like one thing. Like for example, if I spawned against a Protoss on Tal'Darim, I'd be looking at like, okay, I want to get 3 bases, I want to get Mutalisks, and I want to get like a lot of upgrades. Rather than like kind of say, I want to get, Roachling, Infestor, Mutalisk, Hydralisk. Oh, what if he goes DTs? I better get tons of overseers. Oh, what if he goes like Void Rays? I better, really invest in Hydralisks. That sort of thing. Like, you don't want to like blindly counter like every possible strategy you could be going.
Okay.
You just want to kind of focus on one thing, and then obviously if you scout that, if you're going Roachling and he's going Mass Void Rays, and that's when you put down a Hydralist then and start building Hydras. Like, there's no need to build, blindly build like every single tech unit available, just in case. I mean, it'll just make your overall play like a lot weaker.
Okay.
Okay. So your drone count's like really low again. Like it's 42 to 61 at the moment. He's not doing a very good job mining gas or anything. But his mineral income is actually a lot higher than yours.
Okay.
Again, this third base has been sitting there for ages, and you're only just now building drones for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, if you're in a game, like right now, like if you go to your vision,
Mhm.
I mean, you're just taking the Zelnaga Tower now, but, I think the main reason for kind of your style of play is you're playing so defensive because you don't know what's happening. I mean, am I correct in that assumption, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that can just literally be, achieved by more hatcheries, and, taking these Zelnaga towers. And then all of a sudden your play will kind of like gel together, for example,